Repair Clinic makes fixing things easy, with millions of replacement parts available on our website and the help you need to do the repair yourself. Since we encourage you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. For many retractable downdraft vent repairs, you will need to disassemble the appliance. Before you attempt this, be sure to shut off the power to the unit. We recommend placing a blanket over the cooktop to protect it. If you need to replace the push-button switch, grip the sides of the top trim and pull it straight up to detach. Use a T10 Torx bit to unthread the two screws securing the switch. Lift the switch out. Note the orientation of the wires, then disconnect them. Prepare the new push-button switch for installation by transferring the mounting bracket from the old switch to the new one. Use a small flathead screwdriver to depress the retaining tabs to release the bracket. Position the bracket on the new switch. Now connect the wires to the terminals. Align the switch on the unit and thread the screws to secure. Before replacing the top trim, make sure all of the retaining clips are intact on the vent. Now realign the mounting posts with the clips and snap the trim into place. To access components inside the vent, first remove the two grease filters. To reach the fan control or upper arm, use the T10 Torx bit to unthread the 4 screws securing the lower front vent panel. Be careful not to lose the screws in the vent holes. With the screws removed, pull the panel forward, then lift up to detach. To replace the fan control, unthread the 4 screws securing the fan control bracket. Pull the bracket out, then pull out the fan control. Disconnect the wire connector to fully remove the component. Install the new fan control by first connecting the wire connector. Position the control in the frame. Realign the bracket. Replace the screws. The shorter screws secure the bracket tabs. Reinstall the lower front vent panel by aligning the shoulder screws with the keyhole slots in the frame. Then push the panel back and down. Thread and tighten the 4 screws to secure the panel. Replace the grease filters by aligning the bottom edge first, then lift the latch to fully position the top edge. To replace the drive motor or switch housing components, the vent will need to be in its fully lowered position before shutting off the power. To remove the vent box and blower assembly, first detach the venting from the backdraft damper. Next, unthread the 4 screws securing the vent box cover. Slide the cover up to detach. Cut the zip tie to release the blower assembly power cable. Then disconnect the cable. Now support the bottom of the vent box and unthread the 7 screws on the top and sides, securing the vent box to the plenum. With the screws unthreaded, carefully lift the vent box and blower assembly off of the 2 bottom shoulder screws and away from the cabinet. To detach the upper and lower arms, use a 10mm socket to rotate the nut clockwise to loosen. Then fully unthread the nut. To remove the drive motor and switch assembly mounting plate from the plenum, use a T20 Torx bit to unthread the 4 screws. Flip the plate over and rotate the lower arm to access the set screws. Use a 5/64" Allen wrench to loosen the set screws. Now rotate the lower arm until the notch in the cam is aligned with the white plastic actuator, and you can pull the arm straight up to remove. If you need to uninstall the drive motor, unthread the screws to release the drive motor cover. Now use the T20 Torx bit to unthread the screws, securing the drive motor to the mounting plate. Note the orientation of the wires, then disconnect them to fully remove the motor. Reinstall or replace the drive motor by first connecting the wires to the terminals. Position the motor on the mounting plate and thread the screws to hold it in place. Reposition the drive motor cover and secure it with the screws. Reassemble the unit by first aligning the lower arm on the motor shaft. Then rotate the arm until the notch in the cam aligns with the white plastic actuator. Confirm that the arm is fully seated, then tighten the set screws. Rotate the arm so it's facing downward, then reposition the drive motor and switch assembly mounting plate on the plenum. Thread the 4 screws to secure the plate. Realign the lower arm with the upper arm. Then thread the nut counterclockwise and tighten. Reinstall the vent box and blower assembly by first feeding the power cable through the rear of the box. Align the bottom edge of the box on the shoulder screws. Support the box. Then rethread and tighten the 7 screws to hold the box in place. Reconnect the blower assembly power cable and use a zip tie to secure the cable. Reinstall the vent box cover by positioning it over the shoulder screws and sliding it down. Thread and tighten the screws to secure. Reattach the venting to the damper. With the unit fully reassembled, turn the power supply back on, and the retractable downdraft vent should be ready for use. At Repair Clinic, we make fixing things easy. Thank you for supporting the production of these videos by purchasing your parts from our website.